Alright, welcome back to Shem's Universe. So today, guys, we're going to discuss numerology number 2 in regards to it being a life path number. I'm also going to cover the number 11 in this video. So remember, guys, I'm doing Western numerology specifically right now. I'm not doing the Eastern side of things. So if you have a disagreement with me, just understand that I'm not really summarizing it. Understand that I'm just doing what I studied through Western numerology. And I do agree with a lot of what they say, but not quite everything. Alright? So to start things off, Life Path 2 is governed by the moon. It's all across the board. We have no disagreements there. Life Path 2 is considered like the feminine yin energy. No disagreements there across the board. And it's very underestimated. And the thing about it is Life Path 2 just is the polar opposite of Life Path 1. And why I say they're the polar opposite, or why numerologists would say they're polar opposite, is because they take the exact opposite approach to life that the one would, just like the sun shines on the moon, etc. So the thing about it is this: if you're a life path 2, you probably don't like confrontation, you probably like to be a very diplomatic person, and you prefer to work as a team in comparison to just working by yourself or leading others. Am I saying all life path 2s are like that? No. We're just describing an archetype that if you just had life path 2 in your chart and that's it, meaning nothing else is there, that's the type of perspective that you would have. But obviously we're all a conglomerate of different numbers, and our astrology signs make a difference as well. But I'm just saying, if you were just only a life path 2, you would not like to have your own business. You would not want to essentially be in any confrontations. And that's definitely not true. So don't look at somebody and say, oh, they're life path 2, I can just slap them around. That's very far from the truth. The truth is this: a life path 2 will still get very physical, very violent if they need to. The thing about it is this: they are very diplomatic people. They're going to look at things in a very detailed oriented person. So they're going to be like, okay, I can do this to avoid a problem. If that doesn't work, then I'll go to the problem. Whereas a life path 1 would just say, yeah, you want a problem? Okay, let's run you over. Like, that's it, because of the fire, right? The water likes to adapt to situations. The water likes to fill in the cup, become the cup, look at the teacup, become the teacup. So that's how you get this kind of adaptogen type of energy that likes to adapt to its environment, which in turn actually creates a lot of harmony. So life path 2s tend to be very, very successful, like every other life path does. But once you know your actual purpose in life, the problem with life path 2 is that a lot of life paths do not have is that they're very selfless. And the selflessness is like not something that I'd consider a bad thing, but when it's out of control, it can be a very detrimental thing to your health and to your financial, just to your pockets. Let's leave it simple. And the reason why is this: a lot of life path 2s will end up like having like elders in their family, or maybe brothers, sisters, relatives, whatever. And they'll end up helping them and overindulge in helping them. Because this is a very base energy. It likes to be in the background of things. The number 2 is not something that wants to be in the forefront and to get recognition, blah, blah, blah. But they do want recognition for when they help you. They do want that thank you. They like to have that emotional support, that security to say, hey, you did a great job, or hey, I really appreciate you. And more often than not, life path 2s do not get that. Another weakness is that you guys can be overly sensitive to the world, and because of you guys' advanced empathy and very, very powerful intuition, you guys have the most powerful intuition in the numerology sphere. And because of that, if that's left out of control, you'll end up becoming very sensitive to your external environment. Reason being, I'm going to help you fix that right now. You're looking for fulfillment in your external environment instead of looking for fulfillment from within. The lesson of life path 2 ultimately is to look for fulfillment within instead of looking for it through other people. You guys tend to judge yourselves by how other people speak about you and how other people treat you. And if you're born into a family, or you're born into a certain community that doesn't respect who you are, you're not going to end up respecting yourself because of that trait. So the main thing you want to do is make sure that you actually understand that, yes, treating other people well is obviously very important. I'm a life path 8, so I don't really care. But for 2s, you guys got to make sure that don't let other people run you over. Like, you have to understand, in a relationship, in a partnership, there's going to be people out there that are going to have respect for you, and there's going to be people out there that might not have that much respect for you. And you need to learn how to differentiate the two and not take it personal. You guys take life a little bit too serious and a little bit too personal at times. What you want to do is weaponize that intuition and know what kind of people you want to deal with and what type of people that you do not want to deal with. Once you understand that, you understand how the world's going to work and how it's going to treat you. If you can harden your heart to that and really look at the water that you have and turn that into ice, you'll become a very powerful person. For men, I'd recommend anything in regards to the medical field. That's what Western numerology is recommending. Like I said, I'm not the one that's actually putting this out there. And for women, I'd recommend same kind of things: the medical field, nurse, therapy, anything to do with helping others, because you guys definitely do get fulfillment out of that. So that's the thing. All right, so that's the main lesson for the life path 2 according to Western numerology. Like in other videos, I'm also going to like introduce the Eastern one, and then I'm going to actually give my own opinion in a whole other series about numerology, the way I look at it. Because I've done prior videos that just kind of surmised what I'm talking about here. I'm just going in more detail now. But in the future, I'm actually going to give you guys my personal opinion on what you should be doing. Aside from that, though, there's also the life path 11 that we got to cover today. So 11 is, of course, a master number governed by the moon and the sun, which is quite contradictory. You have to balance fire with water, which is pretty much impossible, but it's done. And the reason why we consider it impossible is because it covers duality. And duality in our world, you can't go left and then go right. Or you can't go left and say you're going right, I should say. You can't go up and then say you're going down. But in the world, in the Akashic realm, in the realm that's above 3D, there is no left, right. There is no good, evil. There is no duality. There's just formlessness. And 11s have a very, very, very tight relationship with that Akashic realm, whether they know it or not. And whether you're spiritual or not as a life path 11, you have that sort of connection with them. That's the thing. You guys are very connected with your subconscious mind, which is considered connected with that universe, with that infinite verse. All right, so you guys can easily access your third eye and crown chakra. This is agreed across all spectrums of numerology. I'm not just saying this from my own opinion. I'm saying this from opinions of expert numerologists such as Felicia Bender as well. So the thing with life path 11s now, guys, is you guys would suit the field of like anything to do with music, arts, the medical field as well, specifically like massage therapy, things like that, because you guys are very good at healing others. When you guys are around people, your energy is at a higher frequency, much, much higher than the average number. Does this make you guys better? No, it just is what it is. If you want to say you're better, then, well, I can't say anything to that. The thing about it is this. What you guys' power is intangible. It's not really, I can't describe it. And nobody else in numerology can actually describe the power of the 11. It's something that you're going to have to discover from within. Just like the 2, the 11 has the same lesson. You got to go within to discover what your purpose is. Find an inner purpose, and then your inner purpose is going to help you find that external purpose. But first, you got to discover what's within. First, you got to discover that frequency and be able to maneuver it and be able to use it to manifest things. Because if you don't do that, what's going to happen is you're going to end up just living a life where you're just filled with anxiety, stress, depression. And the reason behind these things is because you're going to look at life and say, well, life is hard and I feel anxious for no reason. I feel stressful about the past and I'm just depressed about my whole situation. And it is because so much energy is going through you at any given time that you have so much energy. Without direction, it will destroy you. And that's the thing with master numbers. In Western numerology, it says strictly master numbers are meant to lead. So it's very contradictory to the 2, which is your base number. If you're operating on the life path 2, which most 11s do, you'll end up becoming codependent, family-oriented, which is all good things, but end up working for others. And the 11's not going to like that. Remember, that's 2 1s, 2 sons. It's not going to work. Even though you're not really at the vibration of saying, yeah, I want to be in charge of my own business. Yeah, I want to lead my own family. Yeah, I want to do. You have to. You're going to have to do something that's going to make a difference in the world. You're going to have to make a major impact on your fate and on your reality. And the only way to do that is to access the power of the 11, to access the 2 1s. If you are an 11, I recommend even just watching the Life Path 1 video I did prior, just so that you understand how the Life Path 1 operates, how it thinks, what its goals are, because you need to operate on that frequency and double it. The 2 is very, very important, but the 2's traits will come naturally to you as an 11. You'll naturally be intuitive, naturally be psychic, naturally just be able to read people, understand what they want. And now you can use that for, of course, good or evil deeds. That's up to you. But you do have that ability to know what people want, and you can give it to them tenfold. So do with that information what you will. But I'm just here to give you guys the tools. Like I said, this is all a cheat code. According to Western numerology, the 11 is the beginning of that triad, 11, 22, and 33. 11 is the most remarkable one out of them, the catalyst, because each of the differences between those numbers is 11. And everybody knows about the number time, like 1111. This really marks bringing the subconscious realm into the conscious realm. So you guys got to understand that what your purpose is going to be might not be tangible, might not be something that you're thinking like, oh, I'm going to be the biggest musician, or oh, I'm going to be a civil rights leader. And it might simply be just being around the right people and motivating them. It might be doing what you're doing right now, but just adding the 11 energy into it, which in turn is going to impact other people and may bring them to enlightenment. All right, because each of the master numbers are not really like masters in the sense of like, oh, I'm sensei, I'm black belt. It's in the sense of I'm here to teach other people how to enlighten themselves, how to look within. And when you understand that what you're going to be doing is first finding what's within you and then doing what comes naturally outside of yourself. All right, guys. So that's going to be it for the Life Path 2 and Master number 11. If you guys do have any questions whatsoever about what I've spoken about today, understand that I am just speaking at it from a Western numerologist perspective, so I'm not really saying this is exactly how it is, but I do agree with a lot of what they said. But aside from that, just leave a comment for me if you have any disagreements or any more questions. Aside from that, guys, like, subscribe. I'll maybe be back tomorrow with Life Path 3. Peace.